Eh? Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Discoveries of Self. My name is Natalie. If you are new to my channel, hello and welcome to Discoveries of Self, and if you are old, welcome back. Today I'm coming to you guys with a hair review and probably an explanation of the most requested thing ever, which is how I got this hair colour. If you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, you'll see that I am now this new sort of sun-kissed blonde colour, and it was super easy to get. And I know a lot of you have been asking me how I got this hair colour, and it's actually pretty simple. I have been trying to film this video, but it's just not been happening. So today was like a good filming day, so I decided to sit down and film this video, give you guys some information regarding the hair I'm wearing, the frontal, and how I got this hair colour. So if you guys want to know more, make sure you keep on watching. I was sent hair to review from Bele Hair on AliExpress, and they were kind enough to send me 3 bundles of their Brazilian body wave and a frontal. So I got 3 24s and an 18-inch frontal, I believe. But as per usual with my videos, I'll leave everything down below, so make sure you check down below for more information. So yeah, I was sent 3 bundles and a frontal, which I've installed onto a dome cap by the sewing method. So I'm just going to run you through a little bit of the preparation process, I guess. So if you watched my last hair review video, you know that I had a little bit of an issue when it came to the frontal. It failed completely, and I didn't want this to happen with this hair, so I was like, okay, Natalie, you need to focus. So I watched as many watch me slay this frontal videos as I could on YouTube. And I think I only really took inspiration from IVYDEAR. So I found a video of IVYDEAR preparing her frontal, and instead of plucking, what she did was just the pulling method. So she just pulled out random bits of hair. Well, I say random, but she just pulled out little bits or little strands of hair strategically around the hairline to make it look more natural. And I decided to go with that approach because with the last frontal I did pluck, and I didn't get much luck, and it took a lot of time. It was really time consuming. So I figured, me being the sort of, I want to say not as neat, I don't know what the word is, but me just being me, the plucking, it was just not my cup of tea, and I knew it wasn't going to work again. So I went with the pulling method. So I randomly, well, I keep on saying randomly, but it's not randomly, but I strategically just pulled out pieces of hair, just taking 1 or 2 strands, maybe 3, and just pulling them out around the hairline to make it look more natural. And that really did help. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave it down below. But if you have difficulty with plucking, or you just find that it's not working for you, I'd really recommend that approach. It seems to have really worked for me. So I did that. I bleached the frontal as per usual, and then I coloured the hair. I'm just talking about the frontal at the moment, but with the frontal, it did work well in the beginning, but I found that I probably plucked a little bit too much, because I had like this much hair on the frontal, so I had like this much space for baby hair, and it was a lot. If you look at my Instagram pictures, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I did end up cutting a lot of the excess weft off, and that made it look more natural. So in terms of the frontal actually starts here. I don't know if you guys can see, but the frontal starts here, and just goes round the side like so. I don't know if you can see that. I was having some issues with the gel today, but normally it's okay. So the frontal's here, and then on the other side as well. This one didn't lay down as good as it should have today, but I don't know if you guys can see. That's my hair. And the frontal's here, I think. I don't know. I'm so far away from my camera, I don't know where it is. But yeah, the frontal is here. So this, none of my hair is out. This is all frontal. And I think it worked a little bit better this time than it did the last time. Well, definitely better this time than it did the last time. I have baby hairs, and I had to create baby hairs, but it did work. So yeah, I am loving the frontal so far. It's okay. I'm still getting used to frontals. I think they're a very new thing to me, but so far so good with this unit. In terms of the hair, The bundles were pretty normal. Brazilian body wave, which is just my go-to if I, you know, want to try something that I know. So the bundles came, the delivery came very, very quickly. I think it was ordered on the Monday and I got it by the Thursday. So it came really, really quickly. Customer service was great, absolutely great. They kept in contact with me, very friendly, which is something that I really appreciate. Now when it comes to AliExpress vendors, they kept in contact with me, made sure, gave me my tracking number as soon as possible, made sure everything was okay. I didn't take any pictures, but you guys know what Brazilian body wave looks like. You guys know. So it was really pretty. It wasn't harsh or anything. There were no blunt ends, like ends that were cut bluntly. That's something I can't stand when it comes to hair, but absolutely fine. Very, very soft. The frontal was amazingly soft as well, so I was really impressed with that. So I got 324s and I'm 5'2.5", so I'll stand up for you guys to see, so you can see where the hair falls on me. So it is quite long. This is very stretched. My waist is here, so it comes just below my waist, I feel like my other wig, I'm comparing it to my other wig, and my other wig is 24, but I think that's slightly longer than the 24. This I've just measured and it's definitely a 24, so the hair is definitely 24 inches on this. But yeah, it's true to length, I guess you could say. I've just measured it. It's definitely true to length. Okay, so now that's out of the way, I know you guys want to know how I got this hair colour. So let me just say, firstly, I went the long-winded way around this, and the only reason why is because I had no idea what I was doing. I knew I wanted some sort of hair colour that was similar to Jackie Aina's hair colour on her Kendra Moore RPG show wig. I really wanted that colour, but at the same time I was like, do I want to go, is that a brown, is that like a dark blonde? I'm not too sure. So I didn't want to buy box dye from like salon dye like L'Oreal, Marigel, or whatever it's called. I just didn't want to do that because it's expensive. Like it's pretty expensive, pretty pricey. So I wanted to know if there was a way I could do this by just bleach. So yeah, I haven't filmed anything either, guys. That's another thing as well. I didn't film any of it because I had no idea what I was doing at the time, but I am going to explain to you guys what I did, the process I did, the products I used, and I'll also leave it down in the description bar below because I am terrible when it comes to explaining things. So I will leave it down in the description bar below and you can check there as well if you cannot keep up with me, or if you're thinking, oh my god, Natalie's so bad at explaining things, just look in the description bar and everything will be there. So you ready? You got your pen and paper? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So first things first, when you want to go lighter, you need to bleach the hair. So I decided that I wanted to go blonde. I didn't know what sort of blonde I wanted, but I wanted to go blonde. So first thing you do when you want to go blonde from dark brown or, you know, black, is you bleach your hair. So I went and got some powder bleach and some developer. I think I got two bottles of 40 volume and maybe one bottle of 30 volume developer, I think. I can't remember, but I'll leave everything down in the description bar. So I got that, mixed it together as you do, and applied it on to the wefts. Also applied it onto the frontal to bleach the knots, and on the ends of the frontal as well, working my way up a little bit in a sort of balayage style or a sort of highlighting style. So I started applying a majority of the mixture to the end of the frontal, so the hair at the bottom of the frontal, if that makes sense. So like you were doing an ombre, so I applied it from the bottom, worked my way up, and then when I got sort of midway I started doing streaks because I wanted highlights and lowlights and dimensions and things. I just didn't want one block of colour. So I did that, and with the bundles itself I just like literally just painted it onto the hair, starting with the bottom of the hair and working my way up because I wanted the bottom to be the lightest. Left that on for about 45 minutes to an hour. Came back, looked at the wefts, washed everything out, used some Touch of Silver shampoo, and it was brown. It was just brown. It was copper, actually. It wasn't brown, it was copper. It was a hideous copper colour, and I just... It probably is, I mean, if you wanted copper, it's fine, but I didn't want copper, I wanted blonde. I couldn't understand how I left the bleach on for so long and I'd only got a copper colour. This has happened to me before using the same bleach and developer, so I don't think I'm going to use those anymore because they just don't lift anymore. They don't lift enough. It sort of lifts to like a brown and then it stops lifting. And I'm not about to leave bleach on hair for like 2 hours. I don't think that's what you need to do, so I'm not going to be using those again. I don't know whether this is an optional step or this helped in the process, but this is what I did. So I did the bleaching process and it didn't really do anything. So I was like, okay, so that I remember I was really annoyed. Like, I was proper annoyed. So I was like, for God's sake. So I did what I do best, and if you guys have been watching my hair reviews for a while, you know that I'm a fan of the Schwarzkopf hair dyes. So I went to Boots and I went to Schwarzkopf and I got their blonde hair dyes, and I got 2 blonde hair dyes. You don't necessarily need to get 2 different blonde hair dyes from the range. I only got 2 because the one that I wanted, which was the platinum blonde, I believe, had sold out. There was only 1 bottle or 1 box left, and I wanted 2 boxes, so I went to the next colour. And the shades I got, I will show you or tell you. So yeah, I went to Schwarzkopf and I got their Intense Lightener 008 Absolute Platinum hair dye, and I got their Intense Lightener 00B Max Blonde hair dye. I originally wanted 2 of the platinum, but like I said, there was only 1 box left of the platinum, so I got 1 of the platinum and 1 of the max blonde. So I also got a bleach lightening kit or a hair lightening kit from the pound store, so from Poundland, just because I wasn't sure if these 2 box dyes were enough and I didn't want to have to repeat the process again. You can find it in like the hair section of Poundland. There's always some really good gems in Poundland, and yeah, I literally just got it. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember the brand. It was from Merton and Russell, I think it is. So I went home and I followed the instructions for the Schwarzkopf hair dyes, and I think with the powder developer kit from Poundland, I added that to the Max Blonde hair dye mix. I applied the platinum blonde colour to the bottom of the hair just because that's the part I want the lightest, and I worked my way up, and then with the max blonde I applied that to the rest of the bundles to like a stopping point. So I didn't go all the way to the roots, I just applied it to the rest of the bundles until I was satisfied, and I basically did the same with the frontal. So I applied the platinum blonde to the end and then the max blonde to the middle, and I did like little strips of highlights, just picking out rounded bits, and I wasn't too neat with the frontal because I wanted there to be highlights and lowlights and things like that. So I wasn't too neat with the frontal. With the hair it was almost like just applying bleach as you would with an ombre. So I did that, left that on for about 45 minutes to an hour, checking every so often. And this definitely did lighten the hair. So this lifted it to the colour I wanted it lifted to. I could see that it was lifting and it wasn't brown, it was going to a blonde, so I was happy with that. So after I washed that out, I let it air dry. I didn't put any heat on this hair during the entire process. I let it air dry and it was fine, it was pretty, but I still had that brassiness, and I didn't want any of that brassiness. It was like a really brassy orange. So I used the Touch of Silver shampoo that you can get from like Superdrug, but that seemed to only temporarily tone the hair. So I went on eBay and I found the Wella Colour Charm toners. I got T18, which is lightest ash blonde. Just followed the instructions on that, toned the hair, left it on for about 20 minutes as per the instructions in the box, and voila, this is what you get. So basically, in short, I just used 2 blonde box dyes and I toned the hair, but it sounds more long-winded because it was a trial and error process for me. But if you guys want to do it, just get yourself some blonde hair dye, blonde hair box dye, and just toner, and you are good to go. That is it. I will leave links to where I got the toner from on eBay down below. I will leave everything that you need to know in terms of the hair dyes I used and everything like that, and a step-by-step sort of instruction guide in the description bar below if you want to get this hair. But literally that's all it was. Box dye, some strategically placed bits of bleach and toner, and that's it. That's how I got this hair colour. This hair did get frizzled. It's not too bad, but you can tell from a body wave that's sort of full hair, this is a little bit thinner. It is frizzled, there is no doubt about that. I mean, I did process this quite a bit, so it is frizzled. It's not, you know, shedding everywhere, and it's not like falling out, or, you know, I don't get tangling like crazy tangling, but it is frizzled, and the frontal took the brunt of it. The frontal didn't really hold up very well, to be honest with you. It looks okay here, but when I run my hands through it, I get resistance, and it doesn't matter if I brush through it, I will get that. So the frontal didn't really survive too well, but the rest of the hair is okay. I do, if I did want it sleek like this, I mean I have straightened this hair, so that's why it looks so sleek, but it is a little bit, it's not as smooth as it was when I first got the hair, but like I said, it is because I have processed the hair. So the hair itself, so far so good. I'm not mad at this hair. I think the colour is pretty. It takes heat very, very well. The next thing I want to do with this hair is to curl it. So I want to put like waves in it, because I haven't put waves in it just yet, and I want to put like tight curls in it with like a chopstick curling wand to see if I can turn it into like a little afro, to see if it'll look really, really pretty. So I want to do that as well. I know eventually I will cut this hair. I like the cut so much, I think it will look really well as a lob, so I might cut it into like a short bob, just cut it like till here. I think that would look nice. My only con is the frontal didn't really take the bleaching process too well, but besides that, yeah, I'm very, very happy with this hair. I will come back in about 6 to 8 weeks with my final review to let you guys know if I recommend this hair or not. But make sure you keep up with me on Instagram. I will leave the name here if you want to know more about the hair, you want to see its progress. My pictures or whatever I do makeup wise or hair wise will be on Instagram or Snapchat. Oh, that's another thing I haven't spoken to you guys about, how I lay my frontal down. So my frontal, I lay it down with the Gots to Be glue that everybody uses. It's actually really, 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 really good. Like, I'm surprised at how good it is. Once you put this down, your frontal is just not moving. So I use the Gots to Be water resistant spiking glue, which is really good. And then like if I want to lay baby hairs or anything's not laying, like, or I need like just a little bit more security, or the baby hairs need to be like molded a certain way, then I use the blasting freeze spray. If you are going to have a frontal, you definitely need this. I mean, this is amazing. I didn't think it was going to work. I don't know why, but I just didn't think it was going to work, but it worked really, really well. I think though, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, I'm still an advocate of closures. Frontals are high maintenance. I'm not. And for the hairstyles that frontals give you, I don't really wear those hairstyles anyway. I don't really do the two buns. I love the two buns, but I don't really do the two buns. So, you know, I don't really put things up, or it's either side part or middle part for me. So, you know, I could do that with a closure. So I think in future I'll be sticking to closures. But it's good to know that if I needed to do a frontal, or if I need to wear a frontal wig, I do have one, and I sort of know how to prepare one. So that's good to know. But so far at this moment in time, I'm not really sold on frontals. They're alright, they're fine. I can understand the appeal of them, but they're too high maintenance for me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions regarding the dyeing process, if I didn't explain anything clearer, if you have any comments, if you like the hair or anything like that, you know what to do. Just hit me up in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you guys. If you are liking this hair colour, give me a thumbs up to this video. I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's so, so pretty. It just looks, one minute it looks strawberry blonde, one minute it looks ash blonde. It's just a really, really pretty colour. If you have any questions, comments or queries, comment section, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye. Mwah.